In terms of like my best and worst social media platforms, I would have to say the best. Well, I'm going to say the worst. The worst is probably TikTok, but I think Facebook's actually one of the worst ones. It has utility, it has the marketplace, which is really lucrative and really great, and everybody uses it. And that's the thing, everybody uses Facebook. Or not really. It's more like there's so much I don't know how to say it because there's so much useless information out there, David, on the internet. But I feel like there's a lot of people that I specifically am friends with on Facebook, and I'm not calling out anybody specifically, but there's people that have been in my friends list, we'll say, that complain about literally everything in their life and always ask for advice about things in their life, and specifically like complain about their children and just all this other kind of stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to mute you. And so I go ahead and, you mute those people. And it's just, I don't know. Every time I open Facebook, I'm like, God, it's mostly for me. The reason why I'd say it's the worst is because you have like, good thing I shut the window. The tractor's going by. There's like 2 posts from friends, right? And then immediately an ad, and then immediately a recommended video, and then maybe another ad, and then another video of some reel or whatever. And then you keep going down. And then you see another thing for Threads, which is owned by Mark Zuckerberg. And then you see finally another post from your friend. And then another ad and another video. And it's just this an annoying algorithm that you can't customize. You can't really say, I'm not interested in this, or I am. You can mostly just say, maybe recommend more of this kind of thing from what I've learned. And if anybody has, or if you, David, have any advice on how to fix this kind of thing to make Facebook a better social media scrolling experience, that'd be great. But it's all just accumulated into this rat nest of sponsorship and ad spots. And it's just so ungodly annoying.
I don't think Facebook is savable. Facebook is like bottom of the barrel.
And then they're trying to make Threads like X, and nobody's using it.
Yeah.
And it's not good. And it's Facebook, so they're just going to suck all your info anyway.
Yeah. The true utility of Facebook is memes.
Yes, I agree. And the
like
groups.
Facebook
are
groups
lucrative.
And memes are like on point.
Yes, I will tell you, the meme groups, which I haven't really dived into, but if you go to groups, man, and you just go through and you find like the right ones, especially the meme ones, God, some of the best stuff around the internet is
you got to find the ones.
A lot of them start in Facebook groups and then go out to other places.
You got to find the ones. The secret to finding good meme groups on Facebook is you got to find the ones where in the group rules they tell you don't report posts or we're going to kick you out of the group.
Those are the ones to go with.
Those are the ones that you want to find.
Facebook's very, very, it's got some benefits, but not enough to say it's a good social media platform.
No.
It's just like a lot of social media, a cesspool of scum and villainy and just all types of negative human nature thrives there. I would say the best actually is X. It's my daily driver. I go on in and waste time on there every day. Only because the algorithm can really be tuned to you. And the best thing about it is that it can be tuned to you, but it can also it's smart enough to know everybody you follow to recommend similar people to that extent and posts like you. Like it has a For You page, and that's the default page, kind of like TikTok. So it's a For You page and then a following page. So it took that concept from TikTok and put it into Twitter. And it works really well. You'll get posts or videos, mostly just posts, from people that are in like I'm in a lot of the gaming circles in there. So it'll recommend a lot of posts like that, or recommended accounts that are always at the top of engagement, like Elon's channel or his profile, or discussing film, or news, movie news, that kind of thing. So it does put a lot of those higher accounts in there from time to time, but you can like customize it and say, I don't want this, or mute this person, or block this person. There's so much awesome customability on X that in all, I can only see it getting better from here. especially the spaces aspect, which is really interesting, especially in the political side of things. But I don't really engage with that kind of thing. I don't really care about it. Um, I want X to become more of like a mute my phone or turn off my screen and listen. I think that'd be really nice, especially with videos or podcasts. Especially if what Elon wants to do is make it like YouTube, which I could see becoming a thing, but not right now at all. It's a very crappy media player, very terrible video recommendation. And yes, when you click on a video, you can keep scrolling, like say Facebook or whatever. But it's just a bunch of random crap that doesn't matter and doesn't really attune to your likings like just the For You page does. So there's a lot of mess and things to improve on X, but it seems like if you're there to just scroll, it does a really good job of, man, that sun is really in my eyes. It does a really good job of just attuning itself to your likings, almost to your detriment because you spend more time on there. But it does a really good job of just giving you what you like, is what I appreciate about it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, what's your experience with X? If you or Twitter, do you what
I guess I'm
do you think?
I guess I'm just kind of set in my ways at this point because I kind of stick with Facebook because I'm mostly into social media for the memes.
Yeah, man of the people.
Yeah. And I passed on Twitter when it was a leftist cesspool.
Yes.
And now that it is no longer a leftist cesspool, I've just become so set in my ways that I haven't even really tried it. Yeah. I mean, I think social media networks are interconnected enough that the good stuff from
One place.
from Twitter tends to migrate into other things.
Yes.
Like I think the thing that probably would interest me most on Twitter is political stuff. And
Oh yeah.
I feel like I get a lot of really good like best of political stuff just because you've heard of the Babylon Bee, right? So they have a news site called Not the Bee.
Yeah.
And so I signed up to get notifications for that in my email. And so in a lot of when they report on stuff, they usually import a whole bunch of really hilarious sort of X posts related to the subject matter. So even though I've never used it, I feel like I get the stuff that I would be interested in on there anyway, just through that.
Yeah.
And social media posts kind of migrate through networks in ways like that. So in general, there's at some point those juicy Facebook memes are going to make their way over to Instagram or to wherever else. So, if you're really repulsed by Facebook, eventually the juicy stuff will get to where you are.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's the same way with X. Eventually the juicy stuff gets to me and I just don't really feel the need to go there.
I agree. I think you make a great point here because everything is so interconnected. I mean, when you click share on anything, on any app, it'll say share to where. And you have your phone or your computer, mostly your phone, and you can just share it to wherever you want. And that's really a really just brilliant thing that happens. I mean, you don't have any creepy crony, money hungry. I mean, you do have those people that run these tech companies, but you don't have them like saying, "Oh, you bought your phone? Well, you have to pay Verizon a subscription to be able to share to Facebook and Twitter." Like there's nothing like that going on, which is really nice. It's just utility and function over the corporate greed, which is prevalent throughout everywhere, regardless of what platform you choose. I'd say, but it's really neat that's an option. I mean, that's super cool. But you make also a great point because all the good stuff will eventually get to you. And I think that's something that's really cool. Like the shareability. I mean, I go into a Discord that I'm part of, and Discord's another one that we didn't even mention. But Discord, there's a meme group on this community I'm part of, and on the Last Stand Media specifically. But you go into their memes channel, and you'll find everything that was on Twitter that day, as well as Facebook, because there's a lot of people that use Facebook in that group. And they'll just pour all of these memes into this, like, just continual lovely scroll of memery that is just glorious. I just don't use Discord, so I just don't, I just don't go there. But it's amazing because everybody's like, oh my god, let me post this, and the way you can't post like more than 3 things in a day. So it's like somebody will post that one. You're like, oh, they already posted it. So let me post this one. Okay, awesome. I'll do that one. And so on and so forth. So Discord's another one I would just bring up just for the sake of it. I think arguably in terms of function and connectability, it is probably the best social media platform. I know you can call people on Facebook and Instagram. Instagram's another one that I'm going to talk about in just a second. But I want to give Discord its flowers because there is so much you can do with it in terms of just connecting with people. I think it's funny that it's called Discord.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I remember it was called something else, kind of like how Twitch used to be called Justin.tv. Do you remember that?
I think that was before I paid attention to it.
Well, yeah. Well, Twitch, which is owned by Amazon now, but they used to be called Justin.tv, and that was your streaming platform that blew up that everybody streamed on, and then Amazon bought it, and then they turned it to Twitch.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Or Twitch before that. I think it was Twitch because they were trying to get bought out by somebody, and I believe it was Google or Amazon at the final list, and Amazon bought them out. So
yeah, same way with YouTube started out independent, then Google bought them.
Yeah. Which was a blessing and a curse.
Yes. More curse than blessing, I would say.
Yeah.
YouTube in the early days, like, I appreciate what it can do now. Like, I don't have, like, pay for a Spotify account because I can get listen to music ad-free through YouTube just by paying for their subscription. And since I'm on YouTube a lot anyway, since there's a lot of content on there which I enjoy.
And you can use YouTube Music to listen to pretty much anything on YouTube too.
Yeah.
So not just a music, but a podcast or whatever, what have you.
Yeah, you don't even have to use YouTube Music. Just you can load up YouTube on your phone, and then if you're paying the premium, then you can turn your screen off, put your phone in your pocket, and listen.
It's beautiful.
And yeah, so I enjoy that, but also, if YouTube was still like it was back in the early days, I could find my music streaming somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, Spotify, it's not a social media platform, but it's a great service and really great, except there's so many people that I run into that just take their stuff off of there and just it's grayed out and you can't click on it. If you want to find out if that's a thing, you just go to settings in Spotify and you just say show like content that isn't available or something like that. It's in the settings. And I've done that, and there's quite a bit of rap music, quite a bit of like folk and country music that's taken off. And it's really just bizarre. And usually it's copyright holders or what have you, whatever the reason may be. And that's one thing I would give to YouTube Music in terms of like, I would give to them over Spotify because YouTube has literally access to everything.
Within reason.
Within reason.
Like if you want to listen to Garth Brooks, you're not going to be able to like actually listen to his albums. You'll be able to listen to like live performances, like videos of live performances that people put up. But if anyone tries to put up his albums, they immediately get taken down. But that's because Garth Brooks his music is not available on any streaming platform whatsoever. So that's just that. So, but anything that's available on streaming platforms in general, YouTube has.
Yeah, and that's something that's really enticing to me for other artists is to see like Snoop Dogg, like some of his earliest stuff, he will not release on Spotify or any streaming services because he regained the rights. He bought Death Row Records. Snoop Dogg now owns all of that and everything that's under Death Row. And then he took off his earlier stuff because he wanted to get paid more for his albums from Spotify specifically, and they wouldn't pay him. And that's just part of their normal gig. But he said, all right, well, then I'm not going to have it on here. And I think it was the same thing with Taylor Swift when I think Spotify had a big thing with her. But then she signed a deal with Apple Music literally the next like week or month or whatever. And then Apple Music launched their streaming thing to go against Spotify. And then she was a big thing on Apple. So there's benefits to either one. There's also complaints about the quality of music on Spotify, which I don't really notice really, except for maybe the volume level. I'm not an audiophile, so I don't know any of this stuff. But Spotify is good enough for everybody.
Yeah.
But
and
Apple, man, I've
if you
heard some stuff on Apple Music versus Spotify, like the same song, and it's different. Like the quality is higher.
Yeah,
Like the
if
bit
you're
rate.
a casual music listener, Spotify will suffice. But if you're, one of those who cares about audio quality, then yeah, Apple Music is kind of the way to go for streaming.